as your career progressed, your minutes went down. What was going on in your head, and how did you make sure your presence was felt, whether it was in practice, the locker room, the bench, or even as you played spot minutes?
Well, initially, as a competitor, you always think that you're able to play. You want to contribute in many ways. So when it started to happen, when my minutes started to go down, it just motivated me more. And once I got a little older, reaching my 40s, it was like, okay, how will I still contribute to the team without being on the court as much? So leadership skills kicked in even harder. Tried to bond with my teammates even more. Not saying I didn't before, but I just tried to be an extension of the coach or vice versa. So just try to be a positive influence on the younger guys. Just show them the ropes. So once I left the game with talking text, these younger guys would be the ones that would take the reins. So hopefully to carry on the tradition of winning and the culture that we developed during all those years of winning. So hopefully I did a good job, and if you're watching this video, you guys could hit me up and tell me if I did. But I took pride in it. Everyone has a specific role on the team, and everyone matters. And I took pride and just tried to be the best at the new role in that transition, being more of a mentor rather than playing. But I always went hard in practice. Either way, I went into practice and trained like I was going to play 30 minutes, even though I probably was only going to get about 30 claps. But I took pride in that, and I'm proud. I'm proud that I developed those skills during those years.
All right, so kind of a similar question. You are 42 years old now, but what is it that you did differently to keep up with the younger guys, the new talent, and the next generation of basketball?
I just, again, cliche, I just worked harder. I was always in the gym, try to be the first in the gym, last in the gym. When I go home, rest, eat, and then go back and work out again. Off days, I'll work out. When I got older, I tried to do even more, but in a smart way. Some days I'll just stretch or things like active rest, like just doing core, just trying to just really be active. Start jump roping a lot more, so it's not as strenuous on my knees, or swim. Those are things that I did to be able to compete, because every year there's a new batch of younger players coming in and trying to take your spot, and just to be so competitive in practice, and just to hold my own, even though if I wasn't going to play at the time, to push these guys to make them better, so they can learn things during practice. They won't make mistakes during the games. So I just stepped up my work ethic in a lot of ways.
What gave you the courage to finally say farewell to the game?
I felt that I gave my all to the game. I tried to give my all every day in practice, every day in the games, and I just felt that it was time. It was time. I felt that I came in to a situation, obviously with Jimmy Alapod, and Ossie was there as well, but to come into a situation, to a franchise that never won, and to leave it after 17 years and being on every single championship in franchise history, to have the most games played and whatnot and other things, I just felt that it was time. It was time for the younger guys to take over. I've done my job, I've done my duty, and it was, it's always tough to walk away something that you love and you put your heart in for many years since you're a kid. But like I said, I feel I left the situation, I left it better than when I arrived. So I did my job.
How did you impact the game through your way of play for that duration of 17 years?
Well, I always felt I was an underdog, and I always had a chip on my shoulder. And I'm a perfect example of, you can make it as an underdog. When people tell you can't do this or you can't do that, it's just fuel. It's just fuel to keep me pushing on the days that I don't want to do anything. Obviously, a lot of people don't know that basketball wasn't even my first sport. I grew up playing baseball my whole life, and basketball just kind of fell on my lap in high school, and I gradually got better. But there was always guys better than me in all aspects of the game. I just felt that I knew the game. I knew the game, and that would separate me, especially with my work ethic, with that chip on my shoulder that helped me to keep pushing and want to be better, and just to share my experiences to the younger guys, even to the youth, what I want to do, but just show them the right way, or just tell them and be honest about the mistakes I made along the way, and show them the successes I had as well. And it's just up to them if they want to take it and run with it. But that'll be my role now when people ask me to share or share experiences with them.
As you walk away from the game, what are the 3 life lessons that stood out to you the most?
The 3 life lessons that stood out to me the most.
Or the 3 life lessons that you got from the game or your experience with the game.
The very first thing that comes to mind is humility. To always come into a situation and be humble and not be so prideful coming in. Obviously, you want to be confident, but just to be humble and grounded. Number 2, also to have respect for your teammates, your coaches, your opponents. And the last one is sacrifice. You have to be able to sacrifice in order to win. I guess that goes hand in hand with being humble. You gotta be humble enough to really want to win and know, okay, this is where I'm needed. I'm gonna sacrifice this. I'm gonna sacrifice that. I can remember us getting in a trade. We had gotten Kelly Williams and Ryan Reyes, and Kelly was the MVP just a few years before that. And he comes over to our team. We're pretty stacked. He's probably coming from a team that he takes 30 shots a game, because he did. If you're watching this, I know. He came to our team and he probably wouldn't get 30 shots in the whole conference. And he sacrificed because he saw what was around him for us to be able to win. So he became an elite defender, a rebounder, and just a great teammate. I felt that out of all the guys during that run when we won all those championships, he's the guy that sacrificed the most. He could have just wanted to go to another team so he could be the man, but his numbers over his career since he's been with us, it doesn't show the effect that he had on our team. So sacrifice, humility, and respect are the 3 things that I learned.
On the breakout, chased by Harvey. And he's one of those very few players that has stuck to one team. Gotta love the hustle.
Hey guys, it's Trey, aka Kid Analyst. Don't miss the next Harvey Carey retirement interview coming out next weekend, where he talks about his advice to the youth and to basketball players around the world. And as he also talks about what the game of basketball has meant to him since his first dribble to his final basket as a pro player. So don't miss it. It's going to be great. Hope you enjoyed this one, and stay safe.